Hello and welcome everyone to our presentation on 10 things that we should know about direct oral anticoagulants or the DOACs. So what are the indications for using DOACs? Alternative to warfarin for the prevention of stroke and systemic embolism for venous thromboembolisms. The advantage these have over warfarin are rapid onset of action, relatively short half-life, predictable anticoagulation effect in patients with normal organ function, and lastly, the lack of need for therapeutic monitoring. Let's see what are the types of DOACs available. The dabigatran is the selective antifactor 2A molecule functioning as a direct thrombin inhibitor. Apart from these, the direct antifactor 10A inhibitors that are afisaban, edoxaban, and rivaroxaban. These act mainly by inhibiting the factor 10A activity of the prothrombinase complex. The half-life and the mode of elimination. For dabigatran, it is 15 hours with almost 80% elimination through renal route and rest through hepatic. While in the 10A inhibitors, the half-life is 10 hours with almost 40% eliminated through renal, while predominantly the elimination is through hepatic route. The use and organ failure. Acute kidney injury with a reduction in creatinine clearance of less than 15 doubles the half-life of dabigatran to more than 30 hours. While in case of the 10A inhibitors, it increases the half-life by 50% to around 17 hours, mainly because they are primarily eliminated hepatically. In hepatic failure, little is known regarding how the metabolism of these drugs are affected. Reduced absorption and intrahepatic circulation. Administration of activated charcoal early after the drug ingestion, that is within 2 to 4 hours, or in case of hepatic failure, has been suggested as a means to reduce drug absorption or intrahepatic circulation. Monitoring of the DOACs. It is important to monitor the effect, especially in ICU patients who have organ failure. Global clotting tests such as INR, PT, APTT are affected by non-specific increase, so we cannot use them as a method of monitoring for these drugs. Specialized assays such as dilute thrombin time and escarine clotting time are used for dabigatran. Anti-2A activity is considered for the direct anti-factor 10A inhibitors. These tests have not yet been validated in patients with coagulopathy and bleeding, which is why the use of these drugs in ICU remains a matter of concern, as the interpretation of these particular tests is not properly known. We can use TEG and ROTEM as a more promising methods of monitoring therapy of these drugs, especially in the ICU setup. Now, reversal of the DOACs. Most bleeding in patients with DOACs can be managed conservatively by withholding the drug, by giving organ support. Prothrombin complex concentrate can be given at a dose of 50 international units per kg. FFP has no utility, but if you are having massive bleeding, it can be a part of your resuscitation protocol. In 2015, monoclonal antibody fragment idarucizumab was approved as a specific dabigatran antidote. Management of major bleeding. Early surgical control is definitely the priority. Apart from that, what we can do is stop the drug, avoid additional absorption by giving activated charcoal. This can be done up to 6 hours. Monitor the anticoagulation activity, preferably by the TEG or a ROTEM. Normalize the elimination. And lastly, consider the reversal with PCC with either 25 to 50 international units per kg. Intermittent hemodialysis or CRRT can be done to augment the excretion of these particular drugs. Apart from that, tranexamic acid, though limited utility, may be tried in case of massive bleeding. DOACs in ICU patients. The main problem with ICU patients is organ failure. There is a paucity of data of these drug in organ failure patients. So the utility of this drug in ICU is limited and it should be avoided. It is always better to prefer a low molecular weight heparin in this situation. Now resuming DOACs after ICU stay. Since we start with low molecular heparins during the ICU stay, we must start them after they are more stable and the organ failures have settled. So to summarize, there are two types of DOACs available, that is the direct thrombin inhibitor dabigatran, direct anti-factor Xa inhibitor, that is the rivaroxaban. The elimination half-lives are similar in both the cases. Dabigatran has a more renal excretion, rivaroxaban has more hepatic excretion. The monitoring for dabigatran has diluted thrombin time, ascarin clotting time, and for anti-10A inhibitors, it is anti-2A activity. Both TEC and ROTEM can be used as monitoring in these particular drugs. Regarding reversal and management in case of bleeding, prothrombin complex with 25 to 50 international units per kg can be used, and dabigatran has a specific inhibitor. These drugs should not be used during the ICU because we do not know how they work, especially in organ failure. So in ICU, it is better to go with low molecular weight heparin. Once the organ failure has settled and the patient is planned for a discharge from the ICU, we can resume the DOAC. Thank you for your patience and take over.